The Americans are well armed. These sniper rifles are great. The coming war that is going to be World War III, that is now being formed in the Middle East, where it will start. Biblical prophecy says that it will start around the river Euphrates. Well, that is where Iran is, and we've already attacked Iraq. Now, prophecy in Daniel 6 shows you this goat coming across with a very long horn, and it attacks the ram, and the one horn is the Medes and the other one is the Persians. We've already attacked the Medes, and we're going to attack the Persians. That is written. Now, I've checked this out over many years, and I don't want to go into too much detail here. If you want to get more detail, you have to go up to that website there and have a look. But when we look at this war that is developing, we're sliding into it. We're sliding knowledgeably into it. People know it. We've got the quartet, which is also prophesied in the Bible that would take place, led by Blair. And the quartet, of course, is the United Nations. It's Europe, Russia, and America. That's the quartet. Very powerful grouping. And they're holding back, as the Bible says, the winds of war. And once they have gone, once that quartet can no longer do anything, the war will start. At the present moment, Israel has few options. She's got Iran, who has threatened her. Now, in all my life, I've never seen Israel threaten Iran, ever. I don't think they've ever attacked it or anything like that. But Iran is threatening to attack Israel in more ways than one. Hezbollah is fully funded by Iran, and so is Hamas, and so is the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. The only thing between us and a complete revolution and a change of attitude of Egypt is the present President Mubarak. Now, he's an old man, and he's training up his son to take it. But it's a very threatening situation. They've tried to kill that man many, many times. And the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's because they're Muslim. And the Muslims don't necessarily like the West. Prophecy is that Egypt will join Iran, and also Syria. And so you're going to have this surrounding situation around Israel. I don't know, and I don't think Israel is going to be the final attacker. The reason for this is that the Iranians, who are allied with the North Koreans, who are allied with the Chinese and the Russians, have now got the same rockets as North Korea. And the North Korean rockets can fly from North Korea right across Japan, right across the Pacific, and hit the west coast of America. Now, if you take your hand, and I've got a globe in the house, and you take your hand and you stretch it out, and you stretch it out from Iran, that distance, it takes it right across Europe, right across Britain, right across into America, onto Newfoundland. So it's the same distance. Now, if how long will Germany and these very powerful nations allow themselves to be threatened with rockets by a 10th-rate nation? Just ask yourself that. Just ask yourself that. How long will they allow themselves to be threatened? Britain and all these nations. Not very long. Can't afford to. You know, it just takes one rocket to go up over Europe, and you get this EMP, electromagnetic pulse, which can put out all your computers, your cars, every plane, everything. Turn us into a third world country. Even worse, because everything is down. All our pumps, all our everything. You know, you could just turn these countries into dust overnight. They know it, we know it. I don't think Europe can also wait too long to find out what Iran's plans are. This negotiation has been going on for years. It's simple. Walk in, get rid of your atomic bombs. And they say no. Well, how many times can you ask a person? You know, at a certain point, you've got to actually do something about it. And those people who say, oh, well, it's all about oil. Well, it's also about you. These people who've got those rockets now for delivery to us. And I don't know whether we've got the sort of defences in place to stop the rockets. I don't know whether we've got them. and all you've got to do is get one through and do a high altitude explosion, putting out this electromagnetic pulse, which will put everything out. Then you are defenseless, and so we've got to be very careful in Europe. The only reason we've been able to maintain our independence as nations is because we've had such a preponderance of power. If that goes overnight, we've got a problem. I don't think that the Europeans can allow that to happen. They must be watching it like a hawk to find out what is exactly going to happen. Now, you know, if you look at the Islamic world, they're attacking in Nigeria and burning churches and killing people there who are not Muslims. They attacked, of course, in Kenya. They burnt and in Tanzania, where they burnt the embassies there. Bali, how many people were killed in 2 bombs that went off there? One a couple of years ago and then one afterwards. The attack in China recently. The Chinese had to send the army in there to go and sort them out. We've got Afghanistan. We've got Pakistan. We've got India. We've got Britain, where they've attacked and bombed our cities, and then did that hospital up in Glasgow. Don't forget that. And you know, we've had traitors where we've had fairly high up commanders in the British Army advising, and they found him as a traitor, passing our plans over to the opposition. Then, of course, we just had this man shoot these 5 British soldiers, and how many were injured, I don't know. I haven't got that figure, but I know in America on the 6th, the day after, they lost 13 men and another 30 injured. I mean, how can we continue like this? How long will it be before you cannot, you know, you just got to apply the rules. The rules are, we just don't trust these people, because they are in actual fact, and this is not racialism, because it's like saying Catholics is race. They're not. They are fully inclusive of all races. It is just an ideology which is hostile, openly hostile to the West. And I saw this with a man that I knew, and we were talking, and I wasn't even talking about religion, and you can't imagine, suddenly he was very threatening. I terminated the conversation, walked away, and I thought to myself, what had I said? I hadn't done anything. We were actually talking about business. And it just flipped over like that, and I'd known him a long time, etc. And I walked off and thought to myself, what had I said? And I couldn't tell. I'd actually noticed earlier on, I'd known him for some time, he'd been in one of my lectures, and we'd become very friendly, and then suddenly I had this sort of vicious attack on me, and I just walked away. We don't need this sort of thing. We've really got to look into this very carefully and make sure. Well, you can't make sure, because, you know, a man, if he's a sleeper, he will just blow up one day and do as he's told. And what people don't understand in the West is that in those madrasas, and I had to visit a few of those madrasas in my business, and on occasions I had the opportunity to walk through, because the only way to get where I had to go to do this particular operation and quote on this particular work, I had to go through that madrasa half a dozen times while the job was ongoing as well. And I always saw the children on the floor there, and there's those kids now 30 and 40, chanting away continually for hour after hour. So when I went in, I came out 2 hours later. When I went in, half an hour later I came out. Over a period of time, they had these children there just about every day, and they were chanting. They were chanting from the Quran mindlessly. It's brainwashing. And so you think a man, just because he likes you or whatever, is going to change his beliefs? Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, thank you very much, and you know, if you want to know more, go to that site there. We're building it to put more information on about many things. Thank you very much.